Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. And oh boy, these next three witnesses for Darrell are gonna be tough. Like this week of videos are gonna be so difficult because he has to go against three experts in a row. Two of them are the doctors, the medical examiners that went through his victims. So it's gonna be a rough patch for Darrell. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for giving a like to the video. If you like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and give it a hype if it's that available where you are. That's really, all those things really help the channel. And something that I wanted to do to get your input is that I would like to know if you guys have been a part of a jury. In some case, it doesn't need to be large, doesn't need to be something fancy. But what I wanted to do is have like a stream maybe where I will take calls from you guys and you can share your experiences as a jury. I think that will be fun. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's go into the video because it's rough. He has a hard time against experts.
State have available its next witness?
Yes.
All right, we'll bring the jury out.
Here's the police subject matter jurisdiction, Your Honor. Still have yet to be verified.
Your objections noted.
Was my ICF obtained by clerk of courts?
The one requesting the copies of various documents?
The one asking for the complaints.
Yes, my understanding is they're working on it.
Just wanted that clear for the record.
What record? The record is clear about what's going on. You wanted it clear for yourself. It doesn't matter. Like, they're doing that stuff behind the scenes. This is not applicable to the trial.
Just one or two ICF forms on that.
I sent one.
Okay. It was sent to me twice, and I just wanted to make sure it was only one. It appeared to be the same thing, but...
Is it in the queue, Your Honor? It's in the case.
It should be.
Thank you. All rise.
All right, thank you, everyone. Please be seated. State may call its next witness.
State calls Master Trooper Mike Smith.
Madam Clerk, I'm giving you previously received 54. Right, sir, the first thing I will have you do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
First name is Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L. Last name is Smith, S-M-I-T-H.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. How are you employed?
With the Wisconsin State Patrol.
What's your job title?
I am a Reconstructionist with the Technical Reconstruction Unit.
How long have you had that position?
I joined the TRU when it was originally formed in 2008. I've been doing full-time recon since 2002. We had a unit formed based on the need for a Reconstructionist that did this type of crash investigation all the time. That's all we do. A normal trooper has traffic enforcement duties. We just have strictly crash recon duties. That's all we do.
So very nice experience for the officer. He has almost 20 years of experience doing this, and this is all he does. Like, he's not on the street giving tickets. He does the reconstruction of the event. So very qualified.
How long have you worked for State Patrol?
I was hired in 2000.
Can you describe for us your educational background?
Yes, I have a 2-year associate's degree in criminal justice, and then multiple training in the crash reconstruction field through the State Patrol.
So I'd like to get into that a little bit. Can you tell us what kind of training was required to become a Reconstructionist for the State Patrol?
Yes, I've had over about 2,000 hours of training. That training has been done at our State Patrol Academy. We bring in schools like Northwestern, Texas A&M, IPTM, which stands for the Institute of Police Technology and Management. They come in, they're college level courses. They teach us obviously over a series of weeks. We also have specialty instructors come in for specialty fields in accident reconstruction, which can be vehicle versus pedestrian, vehicle versus motorcycle, CMB crashes, lighting studies, and a bunch of other ones.
How many accident or crash scene reconstruction analyses have you completed as a reconstructionist with the State Patrol?
Well, since about probably 2004, I would say till now, I average probably over 100 a year that I respond to. And these are serious crashes. They're not just, somebody driving into a mailbox. This is a criminal or possibly injury case involving criminal charges that we respond to. But probably on average over 100 a year.
Very, very nice. I like this. I like that they're establishing how much he knows, because over 2,000 hours of just training, and then all his hours of on-the-job experience. That's quite impressive.
Last, since 2004.
Did you conduct a crash reconstruction analysis in downtown Waukesha from an event that took place on November 21st, 2021?
I did.
When did you begin your work on that analysis?
I worked with detectives from the City of Waukesha Police Department. On January 30th of this year, we actually went out to the scene to conduct a time distance analysis.
Where did you go at the scene?
We went to the Curry Insurance Company, which was the cameras that we decided to use after viewing all the videos. That was the best, as far as what I'm concerned, to use in a time distance analysis. It was the clearest. It provided certain things that made it necessary for me to do an accurate time distance analysis.
What are some of those certain things you referenced?
What we look for and what we've been trained to do is, first of all, we look for a stationary camera, one that doesn't move. So when we are viewing the video of the incident and we are, again, recording new video with the time distance analysis, that camera is in the same exact spot. That's the first thing we do. Secondly, we want to have at least 2 fixed reference points to actually see where a vehicle in this case is entering the first reference point and where it hits the second reference point. So those need to be really clear for us to get an accurate distance. And from that point, then we want to actually time or make sure the timing on the video software is accurate. And that's simply a stopwatch that we use to verify that that video is timing correctly, not too fast, not too slow. So once we have all that done and we determine those 2 points, we will bring a vehicle in, and in this case an Exemplar vehicle that matched the description, I think, your make and model of the vehicle that was in the parade. We actually will have someone, me in this case, inside watching the video on the screen, seeing when that Exemplar vehicle comes into the screen. When it comes into the screen where the vehicle did at the time, we have somebody mark that location out on the roadway. We then do that for a second point further down. In this case, we had 2 points. Once we have those 2 points established, then we're bringing our survey equipment out, which is a Trimble unit that you've all seen them out on the roadways and then people's homes where they're surveying. That's what we use. Very accurate instrument. Just to give you an idea of accuracy, at about 300 feet, it's plus or minus 1/8 of an inch off. So very, very accurate unit, which we use all the time for crash reconstruction. So once we have that distance, we verified the timing. It's a pretty simple calculation that we do to determine a vehicle's average speed through that particular distance that we have. And just keep in mind it's an average speed, so it could be moving faster or slower during certain portions of the distance, but it's just basically taking that average speed through that distance that we measured.
All right, I didn't want to interrupt any of that because the explanation is very interesting. It's very similar, and I'm sure that he worked with the last expert that we have on speed that he testified before, but I'm guessing that we're going to see, but I guess this is a different part of the road. But yeah, it's very qualified. He knows what he's talking about. He knows his procedure. He is good. Let's move on.
When you use that Trimble machine to conduct your measurements, did you use those measurements to later produce a 2-scale scene diagram?
I did.
Okay, I'd like to project for the witness-only exhibit number 56, please.
56?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Go ahead, show the witness.
Do you recognize the diagram on the screen in front of you?
I do.
What is it?
That is the scale diagram that I created as a result of the Trimble measurements that I took out at the scene.
I move exhibit 56 into evidence and request permission to publish.
Objection. I can't see it on my screen.
He's right.
Oh, I don't know why. We'll need to check the cabling.
Very appropriate that when we're talking about an expert about technology and devices, one of the devices fail. That's Murphy's Law in effect right there. But I also like to point out that Darrell is objecting to him not being able to see that on the screen. That's not an objection. You just point that out and they'll fix it.
Let me know when it's on the screen in front of you, sir. All right, continue then. Oh, and Exhibit 56, well, first of all, let him review it. It's been offered by the state. You've now had an opportunity to review it, sir. All right, Exhibit 56 is received, permission to publish is granted. Go ahead.
Okay, could you please walk us through what we're looking at here?
Oh,
Yes, again, so this would be a diagram, two-dimensional orthogonal, so basically looking from the top down at the area that I did measure at the time we did the speed analysis.
and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make these videos, because I don't remember seeing this before. I watched this entire trial several times, like most of you, I'm sure you did, and I don't remember ever seeing this part because it's a diagram. Most people are gonna cut it. Most people are not gonna think that it's important or relevant, so they'll just skip to Darrell questions, which are nonsense. But it's really interesting to me to watch all of this.
Obviously, it depicts a vehicle at a starting point and a vehicle at an end point. The vehicle at point A represents where that vehicle came into that east camera that was located at the Courier Insurance Company. And as soon as basically that vehicle, you're able to view it inside inside the insurance company with the representative was there, I basically told that vehicle to stop. We marked that location on the roadway, and then we continued down to the secondary point, which I determined was the crosswalk. And we marked at that point once the Exemplar vehicle reached that. And that's how we got that distance of 141 feet, roughly 3 inches.
Okay. And what do you do with that distance once you have that measurement?
So once we have that measurement, that's one part of the equation that we need. The equation that we need, just really explain it briefly, comes from Newton's laws of motion. Force equals mass times acceleration. It's part of Newton's second law. The formula that we use is velocity equals distance divided by time, and then we convert that velocity to speed. So we need two inputs in order to calculate the average speed of that vehicle over that distance. The first, obviously, is distance. The second is time. Now, how we get the time is we take the actual video from the incident and we have a stopwatch and we time it when it reaches those fixed points. And we do about 20 iterations, then we average those 20 iterations out to get a time. And that's the second part of the equation that we need in order to get that velocity or speed. Once we have that time, in this case it was 2.7 seconds, we round up and increase that time to the nearest whole number, which was 3.
Why do you round up? I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
That's fine. We round up always to give the benefit to the vehicle, because obviously the longer it takes to travel that distance, the slower the speed will be. So we always round up to the next number. If it was 2 seconds, we'd round up to 2.5. So it's about every half-second interval that we round up to. So now that we have the distance of 142 feet roughly and the time of 3 seconds, not 2.7, we came up with the speed of the vehicle, or average speed of the vehicle during that segment of 32 miles an hour.
32 miles an hour during a parade across that whole, I think it said it had like 100 feet. That's so fast. And also, I love that they give him the benefit of the doubt, giving him 0.3 seconds more. So he could have been going faster than that. But they just round up so to I guess make it the equation better. But he was going so fast, and no wonder the past witness, the granny, she said that they were flying off like pinballs. It's disgusting.
32 miles an hour as an average speed from point A to point B as they're depicted on this diagram?
Correct.
Witness.
Sustained is for the form of the question. Please rephrase. The jury will disregard the last answer.
Could you please explain for us, again, summarizing what average speed you calculated and over what distance?
Yes. So the average speed, very simple. We marked point A, we marked point B, we had that distance, we had that time. The vehicle speed between point A, or the average vehicle speed, let me reiterate, was 32 miles an hour between point A and point B.
You mentioned an exemplar vehicle earlier. Can you maybe explain for us again the purpose of using an exemplar vehicle in your analysis?
Well, when I worked with the detectives from the City of Waukesha PD, we wanted to find an exemplar vehicle just due to the type of case this was. They were able to easily locate one that was very convenient to use, matching the description, I believe the year, make, and model of the car that was in the actual parade. So we decided to use that. Realistically, you can use any type of vehicle because you're just basically looking for that object coming into that frame of reference. But just for court purposes, I think it's a little bit easier to, show the jury that, hey, we used a vehicle that was similar or the same.
Very nice. And that is something that Darrell doesn't take into account later, because he later claims that the brakes apparently didn't work in that model of the 2010 Ford Escape, but they used a 2010 Ford Escape for the actual reconstruction of the scene, and their brakes work. So that throws that point out of the window as well.
And in terms of this case, you used a 2010 red Ford Escape?
Correct.
Okay. Do you happen to know the curb weight of that vehicle?
Yeah.
Overruled, you may answer.
So explaining what curb weight is really quick, that's the weight of the vehicle as it comes off the assembly line. So it doesn't include fuel, it doesn't include any personal items, it's just right off the assembly line. This particular 4x2 vehicle was 3,368 pounds curb weight.
Okay.
So over 3,000 pounds. And if you add the 50 pounds that Darrell weighs, plus whatever, well, he didn't really have gas, so we can skip that. Plus all his stuff, because that was his home. People doesn't know, he slept on that car. He lived basically in that car. So it was like, let's just say 3,400 pounds.
To clarify, does curb weight have anything to do with your average speed analysis?
It does not.
Okay. When you get to the end result of your speed analysis and you have that number, the average speed over that distance, does somebody check your work?
Yes, absolutely. Part of our protocol in the TRU is we have to have all of our reports peer reviewed. Has to be done. Every single one goes out to a former member of the TRU who is now a consultant for us. He peer reviews it, makes sure that everything is correct.
Okay, I want to wrap up by just asking you some clarifying questions about the nature of what an average speed means. Can you say definitively that at any point between point A and point B, the vehicle was traveling faster than 32 miles an hour?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled, you may answer.
These are the worst kind of objections for hearsay. This is an expert, Brooks. None of it is hearsay. He knows all of this because he did it. Anything that happens to include in the report, it's his words. He did the calculations. He knows about this, but nothing can be hearsay about what he did on this work.
Right.
So average speed is calculated, as we talked about, through that distance. The vehicle can either be going faster than 32 or slower than 32 over that distance. But it's an average. Is it possible the vehicle maintained a constant speed of 32? Yes.
Yes.
But it's more plausible that you have higher and lower speeds during that segment.
Okay. That's all I have for this witness. Thank you.
Thank you. Cross.
Yes. This is kind of distraction still being on there. From your testimony.
I love that. He's like, please remove the evidence that shows how I did my crime. Like, please remove this so the jury doesn't see it anymore. It's distracting me.
It seems like you've been doing crash reconstructions from quite some time. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Around 2004, I believe you said?
I was in the program from about 2002, but really started getting into full recons about 2004. You need a little bit of training first before you can actually go out and be on your own.
You stated that you worked with detectives in the process. Do you recall who that was?
Yeah, that was Detective Casey.
On getting the calculation of the speed, did you work with anyone on that side of your investigation?
No.
Yeah, he's trying to connect him with the past speed analyzer that we had a couple of days ago.
So it's pretty much just you and the detectives.
The detective did not assist me with the speed calculation. He just assisted me with obtaining the videos and also assisted me, excuse me, out at the scene where we did the testing.
I think the exhibit showed the building that had the camera. Do you recall which streets that were along the parade route?
Yeah, that was in front of Curia Insurance on Main Street.
The point A and point B, did those start from a cross street, or was it just the main?
The insurance company has cameras outside by the sidewalk. There's two of them. There's one towards the east and one towards the west, right at the front of the building.
You made reference to the distance traveled in feet.
Correct.
I think it was 141.
Correct. 141 feet 2 inches, a little bit over that.
And you made a reference to the average speed.
Yes.
Any reason why the average speed wasn't depicted in the exhibit?
Oh, I remember this. Oh, this is an argument that has no point at all. He's complaining that the speed is not on the diagram. That is literally not an issue. He's telling you what the speed is. You know it now. Who cares if it's not on the report?
That's just a calculation that we do that's included in the report. I don't normally do that in the diagram.
Yeah.
So it would be fair to say that you created the diagram?
I did create the diagram, yes.
You said normally you don't put the speed calculation in the diagram. Would it be any reason for that?
It's in the report. It's not necessary to put it in the diagram.
Have you ever done that before?
Could you rephrase the question?
Have you ever not included the speed analysis in any crash reconstructions that you've done before this one?
Are you referring to the diagram or are you referring to the
Referring
report?
to the diagrams.
No, I don't. I do not put speed calculation results in diagrams
On any of them.
on any of them.
Did you create any diagram with the speed calculations?
No, he doesn't do that. How many times does he have to tell you that? He doesn't put the calculation in the diagram because it's already on the report. So it will be redundant to do so.
Present on it?
No, I don't. The diagram that I created is the one that was up on the screen.
And then from there you put the speed calculations just in the report.
Yeah, I normally just put them in the report, yes.
Yeah.
I don't have any recollection of putting one in the diagram.
Would it be fair to say that it may be a little bit difficult to locate what you analyze for speed if it's not in the diagram?
No, it's not difficult. All you had to do was read the report. But of course you didn't because you don't care about that part of the trial. You care more about fictional theories about mistrials that doesn't happen. So no, it's not hard. You just have to read.
No.
I love it. No.
So if you wanted to know the calculation of the speed, you would have to read the report.
Yes.
Correct.
Another self-snitch that he didn't read the report.
Would it be fair to say that it might be easier to find if it was included in the diagram?
My diagram is included with my report, and that's all one unit, so it is in the report.
Can you explain what S6 is?
Yes, the the S6 is the name of the Trimble robotic total station that we use to actually measure things at crash scenes.
So that's like a certain technology or something. Would that be fair to say?
It's a piece of surveying equipment that if you've been on the road, you've seen them where they're measuring the roadways, or if somebody's building a home. Same type of equipment, we just use it for crash reconstruction.
Yeah, I think those are. If you see someone like when you go through the street and they're building it, they have like some stick that one person is holding, and another location is holding like the same one with a camera. I think those are those sticks that he's talking about.
And what is a prism? Is that in direct relation to the electronic distance measuring system?
Correct. The total station is one part of the equipment that we use. The prism is the other. The total station communicates with the prism through an electronic digital measuring system, which is a laser. The two pieces are needed, in this case, to collect the measurements that I collected.
Oh, okay. So one is a laser and the other one is a prism. So when the laser shoots the laser to the prism, it measures the distance, as far as I can tell. I'm
Not
not
a
an
necessary
expert.
component to using the equipment, but we normally do use the prism when taking measurements.
And that prism's pretty accurate, you would say.
Well, the unit is accurate.
What about the prism?
Yeah, it's all accurate. The unit itself is very accurate. At 300 feet, it's about 1/8 of an inch either way, plus or minus.
And he's busy reading the report because I guarantee you it's the first time that he's seen that report.
And is the CAD the diagram that you created?
Could you rephrase the question, please?
Is the CAD is that software related to the diagram that you created?
It is.
Yes, the diagram, I believe CAD is the format that AutoCAD uses. It's a software. My girlfriend is an architect, so she uses that software to create the floor plans and stuff. So CAD is the file type.
In what way?
The computer-aided design software program that we use is a tool that when we transfer the measurements from the Trimble total station, we transfer that into the computer-aided design program, and that's how we create our diagram.
Yeah.
Can you explain what the 2.4 gigahertz radio technology is?
That's just software that's built into the total station, the Trimble unit, as part of its communication.
It's frequencies. It communicates through frequencies to each other. Like like a walkie-talkie, it uses that same technology.
And is that communication radio?
Yeah, there's a radio inside the unit, correct.
You made reference to something called Newton's law. Can you explain a little bit further what that is?
Okay, if I were to create my top 5 dumbest moments of the trial, this will be one. Darrell is asking for what is Newton's law. Like you mentioned something about. Let me hear that again.
Correct.
You made reference to something called Newton's law. Can you explain a little bit further what that is?
He wants the teacher to explain to him what is Newton's law. This is where you find out that this is when you realize that he never finished high school. And if he was attending high school, he didn't pay attention. Because you should know this. It's common knowledge. You don't even have to go to school to know about Newton's law.
Newton's laws of motion are what we use as a big step in our Reconstruction field. A lot of formulas are derived from Newton's laws, including the formula that we use to calculate the vehicle's average speed. Sir Isaac Newton obviously invented the laws of motion. We all learned that in high school, and that's part of the process that came to the formula that I use to calculate the average speed.
I love that little snippet that we all learned this at high school. That's a direct jab at Darrell.
I always thought of Newton as gravity, so that was a bit of new information.
A 40-year-old man claiming that Newton's law is new information. Great. Just great.
You made reference to part of the crash reconstruction was finding a similar vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And you were able to find a similar vehicle pretty easily, you would say?
That would have been the City of Waukesha Police Department which found the vehicle.
And you made reference to it being in the parade as well? Or part of the parade as well?
The Exemplar vehicle?
Yes, the vehicle that was similar.
The Exemplar vehicle was not in the parade.
Yeah, he never said that.
I may have misinterpreted what you were saying.
Yes.
And you said it was found by the Waukesha Police Department.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall if that part of your investigation and the creating of the graph and all that technology that goes with that, was that part of the same day, or were they done on at different times?
I'm sorry, are you referencing the diagram, the creation of the diagram?
Right.
No, that was not.
Because it seems like a lot of technology went into getting the diagram created and, you know, different variations of that. And then also using a similar vehicle to, I guess, simulate would that be fair to say, simulate the incident?
We used the Exemplar vehicle for our testing.
Was that done all the same day, or was it done?
Sorry, could you rephrase the question again? I'm not understanding what you're asking.
Yeah, this is going to become a common trope again during the expert questioning. Is that the expert doesn't have any idea what Darrell is talking about. I'm sure Darrell in his mind thinks this is a fair question, but it doesn't make any sense. And basically what he's asking is that the whole creation of the crime scene and all of that was done on the same day. Yes, they took one day, they brought the car, they dropped the car and took the calculations, and then took the data, and then they did the calculations later.
Was the creation of the diagram and the simulation of the vehicle done on the same day?
No, it was not.
So it'd be fair to say it was a process involved in getting all the information.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you stated that was done around January 30th, around that time?
The testing was done on January 30th.
And what about the simulation from the similar vehicle?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase the
The
question?
what?
Do you recall what date the simulation was performed?
All right, are you asking when I completed my analysis?
Specifically the part of the similar vehicle being used.
That was January 30th. We did the testing out on Main Street in front of Curry Insurance.
Yeah, when he's saying the simulation, he means the reconstruction. That's not a simulation. They redid what you did out there, basically.
So what part of the process was done at a later date?
The diagram, the calculations, the time distance analysis.
Do you recall the date of the second part of the investigation?
Are you referring to when I completed my reports?
Yes.
No, I don't know what day that was.
Was it sometime after the January 30th date?
Correct.
Would you say there was a delay in finishing it, or did something cause you to kind of...
What?
Let me rephrase that.
He doesn't even know how to ask the question, and when he gets it out, it's gonna be irrelevant. Who cares if he did the calculations the next day or the day before the trial? The data doesn't change, so the calculation is gonna be the same.
Was there anything that may have delayed you finishing the investigation quickly?
Can you rephrase? What do you mean by quickly?
By it seems like there was two parts of it: getting the simulation done and then the actual diagram and things of that. Any reason why that couldn't be done closer together?
Well, first of all, it's not a simulation because a simulation is different than what we did. This was just
I love it. I love it. First of all, you're wrong, and then let me explain to you why.
some testing we did out at the scene. Secondly, as I mentioned earlier, I respond to hundreds of crashes. It depends on what I'm working on at the time. Once our reports are completed, they need to be peer reviewed. All that process takes time. So there's nothing that delayed my report. If you want to use me going to another crash, that possibly could have delayed it, but no delays that would affect the outcome of the report or the accuracy of the report.
No, I wasn't going to that part of it. I was just kind of curious to what may have spaced out the dates. That's what I was really getting at.
We do a lot of reports every year, and obviously we're not just doing one report a year. So every report is different. Every report requires different types of analysis. So there's really no set time on when we can finish a report compared to when we started. It just depends on what else is going on outside of our time in the office.
I love that. I love that he basically told Darrell, you're not special. I got to you when I got to you.
No further questions.
Any redirect?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.
And who knows what he was looking at there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. It's gonna be a tough one to go through because we're gonna start with back-to-back episodes of The Doctors. So be ready for that. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and remember that you're great, that you matter, and that I'm really happy that you guys are here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.